Hello YouTube, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. It's the 1st of January 2026 and this is my second attempt at making this video. The first one was an absolute shit show. What I wanted to do, so I've got these fancy parts here, as you can see. Metal uprights, hubs, got the rear ones there as well. So what I started out doing, well, let me back it up a step actually. I actually bought these because I had plans to buy the Kyosho Optima Mid special re-release, and I thought it would be a cool idea just to buy that re-release and go all out on it. Seeing as, you know, from what I can tell from Kyosho, it's not sort of as blinged out as I would expect from, you know, what's potentially essentially their best kit, right? So no carbon upper deck, some of the standoffs and like the rear upright thingy between the two, you know, chassis plates is plastic, whereas on this one it's alloy. Servo mounts I think are possibly plastic, although, you know, don't quote me on that, but essentially there's a lot more plastic in the Kyosho Optima Mid Special, I believe, than in the Mid 60th. So that kind of made me think, why not just carry on with the bling theme on the 60th. So that's sort of one reason, much cheaper reason. But the other reason is that with the Kyosho Optima Mid Special, yeah, Toms, God, the names are confusing. Yeah, with the Toms re-release, I'm just kind of, I'm not sure if I want to commit to buying that kit, let alone buying more kits, you know, re-release kits, to be honest. So I got sort of two thoughts. It's like, do I keep buying re-release and the odd vintage RC here and there, or do I just stick to vintage, or do I just sort of stop buying these things altogether, or do I just even sell up? I'm kind of at a weird crossroads where I don't know what I want to do. So I've kind of put buying kits on hold for now. I didn't buy myself anything with, you know, Christmas. I had a Christmas and I had a birthday, and I didn't buy myself anything to do with RC. I just sort of banked that money for something else. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard because it's kind of reached the point now where I feel like I've spent quite a bit of money on RC, and I don't know how people just keep ploughing money into this hobby. You know, especially if you have a family, it's like, you know, there's better places that money could be spent, even if it's just putting it, you know, extra towards the mortgage, or putting a bit extra in my my pension, or just even putting it in the savings, you know. So I'm kind of at that point where I'm kind of thinking I need to reassess before I get too deep, so to speak. So that's where I'm at, and so that's prompted these bits to go on here rather than go on a Tom's. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is the bits for the Kyoshos are so freaking expensive. So one of the things I wanted to get for the Toms was like the alloy motor mount or motor plate, if you like, stuff like that, and it's so prohibitively expensive. And the thing is, I don't like buying aftermarket stuff. I like to keep my car's Kyosho. So I made a bit of an exception on this one because I've got universals that didn't come from Kyosho, and now I'm going to forget where they came from. Coswork, they're Coswork ones. So to me, Coswork is pretty close to Kyosho in terms of quality. Like their carbon fibre weave looks almost identical. But in this case, I've decided that this stuff here would be good enough because the cost of these parts from Kyosho is just insane. So I've had to sort of bite the bullet and go aftermarket with these ones. So, you know, it is what it is. I wouldn't go like Year Racing. I don't know why, I just don't like Year Racing. I think it's because they put their logo on everything, and I don't like the way their carbon fibre looks. So I don't know, it's just a weird thing. I don't really gel with Year Racing, so their stuff I never considered, even though it's probably even cheaper than this stuff. So yeah, today we're gonna do the back. The back. Full disclosure, I like I said at the beginning, I started this video and I completely effed it up. And what I mean by that is I tried to I took the fronts apart, and because I used the red Loctite, because I was never planning for this stuff to come apart obviously, but because I used the red Loctite, the screws were quite stiff, but they did break free. But then obviously, you know, after a couple of turns, for some reason or other, the screw just stripped. So I've got one of these front knuckles where the lower screw, it just won't wind out. It's like stuck in there. So I'm going to have to try and find some replacement parts to fix that. And also, I think I might need to replace one of these, you know, depending on what the screw's done and whether I can get it out or not. But I was actually thinking I might keep these factory hubs here. I'll definitely use these fancy uprights or C-hubs or whatever you want to call them. But see these here, this sort of triggers me. That one says right, this one says left, but to have them in the car, whether it's left like that and right like that, or whether it's left like that and right like that, I mean, they look like they could go either way. I can't see a difference, but it doesn't matter which way you do them. You're going to have one with the left or right facing up and the other side with it facing down. And tell me if I'm going crazy, but I could not figure out a way to have them both facing down, which would definitely be my preference. Not to see those left and right markers. So yeah, that really would do my OCD no good at all. So I'm probably not going to use those. I'm probably just going to use these with the factory in the front. But yeah, I'm going to go over to the table. It's really cold in the garage, so I've got the heater going. The light over there is not brilliant. That's why I'm filming here at the desk. So I'll probably, I don't know, I might film over there, I might come back and forth, who knows. But let's just have a little quick before look. If I can get a grip on this. So that's what we're looking at before. So it's all very plasticky in the rear. So I think these, and it's dusty, these rear hubs are going to make the back just look a little bit more impressive to go with the, you know, the metal here and the sway bar and the universals and everything. So that's the plan. So yeah, and I don't think I've filmed this Tom's with having completed the wing. I can't really remember. Not much else has changed in my collection, by the way. Just that my RCs are all up in the air now, which I'm not a fan of. I'd rather have them sitting on their wheels. You can see I've managed to get some fronts for the Ultima Pro replica. Still trying to track down some rears, which aren't that easy. Excuse me, aren't that easy. So yeah, the reason they're up like this is because of Schumacher. So what have Schumacher done, do you ask? Well, their cars that are less than a year old are cracking the tyres. So yeah, that's why then now I've put everything off the ground. Let me show you another tyre. So here's one of my Laser, which, as you probably recall, has these spike tyres from Schumacher, which look really great on it. Just to excuse the mess, but just to remind you, I think they really suit this car really well. Those big, I can never remember the goddamn name of them. Full spike, I don't know, but anyway, they look great. But this is the old one, so I had to replace the full set. And this thing's been on the shelf for a few years, to be fair. But still, I have Kyoshos that have been on the shelf, you know. Well, they've been around for 20, 30 years, so anyway. But yeah, they look alright when they're not sort of on a rim. But when they're on a rim, this is what they look like. They're just really, really cracked badly, and they're like that the whole way around, and it just looks really ugly. So I've had to replace all of those, so now I can't sort of have my cars sitting on the shelf because I just feel like that's asking for trouble. So I've propped them all up now. So, and these are new actually. Went for some purple wheel screws, nuts, whatever you want to call them, just to go with that purple theme. Anyway, I'll get to the bench and start the teardown. So this is my workbench. I got the heater on my feet, which is nice. Put a towel under the chassis because those of you who aren't familiar with the Optima Mid 60th, it's got this gorgeous carbon chassis, so I don't want to scratch that up. Got a bear. This is I just bought this because I saw it on special and I'd never tried it before. I am a bit of a fan of wheat beer, but I actually hate grapefruit, but this is alright. I was hoping it would just be a hint of grapefruit, but it's a bit more than that. But it's quite low alcohol. It's 2.5%, and it just basically tastes like a Lucozade or something. So it doesn't even really taste like beer, to be honest. So that's my lubrication. Right, guys. So that's the rear out. Might just have to go turn that music down. Don't want those artists getting credit for my work. So here we have the rear one out. Just a little tip that everyone probably knows, but just do one side at a time, and then you've always got the other side to refer to if you get confused with, you know, which way up or which way round things go or whatever. To take it out, there's just one pin that you just sort of have to carefully work out, because you know it's in there quite stiff, if you like, so just be careful that doesn't fly across the room. Speaking of which, you've got a C clip, E clip, whatever you want to call it, and just a screw for the top mount there. So yeah, that's pretty easy. Now I'm just going to take this apart and disconnect this. Okay, so there we go. That's the guts of it out. You can see a bit of that red Loctite on the screw there. So I don't know why I even bother Loctiting shelf queens. It's probably not really a good idea, because if you do want to come back and make changes, you can strip screws like I did. So probably just won't bother with Loctite in future. But I remember when I built this, I just Loctited the shit out of everything that was metal on metal. So there you go. So here's a bit of just a quick side by side of the two parts. Guys, I don't think I'm going to be able to get that little adjuster there out without completely munting it. As you can see, I've already made a start. So I'm just going to go back to the kit and use one of the ones in the kit. I can't remember what these are for, if they're camber or what, and I think I used the max one, so I'll now be substituting in the sort of middle of the range one. So there we go, bling part assembled, ready to go back on. I'm just going to throw some grease on it. Excuse me. As you can see, I like to get my value for money from my grease, so we'll throw it back together. There's one side done. Those camber adjusters are very subtle. I can't sort of notice a difference with the naked eye, but it's probably only a degree or so. The only sort of tip for reassembling, it's always quite fiddly to try and get these screws through while they're keeping the drive shaft from not falling out. But what I would do is recommend pushing the screw through here a few times, just to sort of loosen it up before you do it on the car. Otherwise you'll be struggling for sure. Well guys, there we go, all done. Only made one stupid mistake, which necessitated me going back and pulling a whole side apart again, and that was that I left one of the bearings in the back. I kind of thought to myself when I was assembling it, why is there only one bearing? That's a bit odd. But then I thought, oh well, must be how it goes. But of course it wasn't, so that's alright. I only had to undo the top link and the hex and stuff, so it didn't take 5 minutes to fix that silly mistake. So there we go. That has added a little bit more bling to the already fairly blingy mid 60th. When I get some replacement screws, I will sort the front as well. So that'll be another episode. I'm sorry, apologies to most of my viewers. This is suck eggs content that I'm sure you guys can do this sort of stuff in your sleep, but it gives me something to do on New Year's Day. So yeah, have a good one guys. Look after yourselves. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.